some heavier cores here and there, but you're not seeing those really high values of the reflectivity product, which is what we're looking at here, which basically you've got the radar beam that's being reflected off the rain or the hail potentially back to the radar. And when you have hail, you'll see higher values of that. Looking at, actually, well, that legend doesn't show it extremely well, but kind of on the end of the legend here, we get those kind of purples and even blacks in some cases. You can have hail there. But again, if we looked at this earlier, I'll take another quick look at it. So there's a little bit, so looking at the hail tracker or the hail swath product here, you see some of these little blotchy pink areas, and that is detecting some hail loft in the storm. But what we were seeing, week before last were these heavy stripes where it was a solid strip of this product. And a lot of times you were seeing higher values of it where you were seeing some darker pink and black and things like that. And when we see that, we're more concerned that there actually is some hail reaching the ground. But when you see more of these kind of signatures, doesn't tend to indicate that there's really big hail or lots of hail at this point, at least. Not to say things couldn't change, but at least so far, it's good to see that it's looking fairly tame to this point, James.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Bill Murray, if you can change that links box from Florence to Hatton in Lawrence County.
And one other thing I'll mention, Kevin has got his drone up on I-22 in West Jefferson. So
okay.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, they're excellent. Thanks, Ryan. You're ahead of the game. So this is a live view coming from the western part of Jefferson County, and we thank Kevin Henderson for being out in it today. Down below, that's traffic along Interstate 22, and this is live, okay? It is just astounding the resources that we have to work with here, and we thank our chasers and spotters in the field, and Kevin is one of the best drone operators in the country. I mean, he is good. And again, he's right over West Jefferson. This is in northern Jefferson County. We got a little rain shower that is in North Jefferson, really near Warrior, Kimberly, along Interstate 65. Kevin is along Interstate 22. So we got a few spotty showers in progress over northern Jefferson, Walker, Cullman, but they're just very, very, very tame at this point. And again, looks like we lost the shot, so we'll go back to the configuration here. And let's put the Hatton Skycam, Ryan, up there. Thank you. Hatton is in Lawrence County. Again, just to let you know that Hatton is, again, where the rain is kind of moving in. It's been raining there for a while, but again, we're just trying to get some shots from in that rain mass. All right, Drew, what you looking at?
Yeah, just was looking at the velocity here. The Weather Service mentioned the area here, this little circulation. It's weak, it's broad at this point, but they mentioned they're keeping an eye on that one in case there is any sort of, even just a severe thunderstorm warning that might be needed. They haven't issued one or anything yet, but again, at this point, you can see it looks fairly weak, but there's just a little bit of spin happening there. But again, like we said, we don't have, not expecting a lot of rotation with these thunderstorms necessarily compared to what you would typically see when you have a better wind profile, especially at the lower levels. So again, nothing that looks too concerning at this point, but that is one cell compared to the rest of them that looks a little bit more organized, James.
Okay, and again, that's what we do. The nice thing about having a large staff is that we can get focused eyes on radar, on the cameras, and that's what we have. And again, so far we've seen no evidence of any real trouble. It's just a rainy afternoon with some thunder and lightning. But again, for some folks, it's pouring. And again, Red Bay is on the Alabama-Mississippi state line. This is in western Franklin County, Russellville here, Belgreen's here. I was at Belgreen High School not that long ago. I could write in fact, the lunch ladies at Russellville, guess what they gave me, Drew? Crispitos.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. But again, the batch of heavier rain coming into Franklin County from the west, that'll be moving to the east. Let's kind of bump it up and look at Colbert and Lauderdale up here. And again, you can see more heavy rain about to come into the shoals here. Florence, Sheffield, Tuscumbia, Muscle Shoals. Pouring over here in western Lauderdale in the zone here between the Tennessee state line and US 72. Rogersville is here. Killen is over here. And again, there might be some small hail in that, maybe a little bit, but nothing big. Athens with a good downpour right now. And again, rain is falling in Decatur. We've got rain along Interstate 65, is pouring along Interstate 65 really from the Tennessee River Bridge all the way up to the Buc-ee's exit. You ever been to that Buc-ee's, Drew? I bet you have.
Yeah, you know, when we lived up that way, we went to it a few times, but it was kind of in a weird spot from where we lived, where it was like you had to kind of go out of your way. But you go out of your way to go to Buc-ee's.
No,
right?
no,
So,
it is what it is. But anyway, so Huntsville's here, and again, that heavier rain will be into the city of Madison, the city of Huntsville in the next 30 minutes. Let's go down to the south, and we'll take a look at those showers closer into Birmingham. And again, you can see just nothing more than little spotty showers here through northern Jefferson, Cullman, Walker. We'll take a closer look at these. And again, nothing severe whatsoever. Pretty good little downpour along Interstate 65, down around the Dodge City exit, and a little light rain falling at Warrior. It looks like some fairly light rain showers coming back into Smith Lake. Smith Lake's had off and on rain showers this afternoon, really nothing heavy at all. And again, there could be some thunder and lightning in here, but the good news, the atmosphere just not wanting to produce anything severe with these, which is really good news. And south of Interstate 20, things are pretty quiet. It's only very, very isolated there. So again, we'll be here for about 10 more minutes. We'll plan on about 10 more minutes on our live coverage. By the way, thanks to ABC 3340, our television partner. We are joined at the hip. I serve as their chief meteorologist, and I've been there as of this September 30 years. How about that? And we love 3340, our broadcast partner, and they're simulcasting us on one of their live streams. So again, Evan Chikvera is doing the 4 o'clock news on ABC 3340 in the Birmingham market, and looks like weather permitting, and I think it will. I'll be doing the weather segment on the 5 and 6 o'clock news this evening, which is the typical schedule. But again, if we have to break away and do long-form coverage here, we'll do that. That's what we do. So let's go back up to Northwest Alabama and take a look at what's happening up and through here. And again, we have one of the good things we have, it's communication these days. We are deeply connected with, first off, our sky watchers. We have a large team of sky watchers, thousands of them across the state. And we are watching all of their reports, and so far it's quiet. When it's quiet, that's a good thing. And in addition to being connected with our sky watchers, we're also connected with the various National Weather Service offices that cover Alabama. And in Alabama, we have the Huntsville office, we have the Birmingham office, the Mobile office, and the Tallahassee office that issues warnings for Alabama, and we're able to communicate with all of them in real time. And again, we're kind of watching traffic coming out of these offices, but everything is just sub-severe. And I'm very thankful for the Weather Service offices today kind of using discretion. The one thing we really are trying to avoid in the weather enterprise, it's false alarms, crying wolf. We don't need to do that. You don't need a warning when a storm is not severe. You only need a warning when it is severe. And these are wind velocities within the radar beam. Is this Columbus or High Top?
this is Columbus, so it's,
Right.
you
So
know, 8,000.
thousands of feet off the ground. So again, these are radar beam height. The Earth is curved, and the radar beam goes in a straight line. So as you get farther away from the radar, it's higher. This is coming from High Top, and again, the beam a little lower, showing wind velocities of 22, 23 miles per hour. So that's clearly sub-severe. There's no evidence of these storms producing strong, damaging straight-line winds or anything at this point, or large hail. So far, it's so good. But again, it is pouring, just absolutely pouring. And one thing we'll have to watch for, maybe some temporary flooding problems here, especially in parts of Limestone and Lauderdale counties. This band right in through here, it's been kind of sitting there since we've been on live here for the past 15, 20 minutes. And that's let's do a pixel query in here and see what woo boy, goodness gracious. That's 1.72 inches in 1 hour. That's over the past hour. And again, that's just northwest of Florence up here right above Killen. And so that would represent maybe some flooding problems. So just be aware of that. So again, we'll go back to the radar, and what you see is what you get. We have potential for a few severe storms across Alabama tonight. So far, we have had no severe storms, none, zero. Just a lot of rain, thunder, lightning. And if any issue we're going to have here, it's flooding, especially over here in parts of western Lauderdale, perhaps into Limestone. It's just really coming down in Athens right now. In fact, if we can look, Bill, if you can change that Hatton camera over to Elkmont or Ardmore, one of those two, and again, watch the top box, and we've got a camera that's probably a little north of the heaviest rain. Okay, this is coming from Ardmore. And again, that is a CLC right there. What does that mean, Drew? Creepy looking cloud. Okay, that is not a tornado. That is not a wall cloud. And again, for sky watchers and weather observers, it's fascinating to watch the sky. They can produce features like that. But again, this is nothing indicating a tornado here. I want to stress that. But again, Ardmore is up here north of Athens. In fact, I was in Ardmore not that long ago. Again, the camera would be right in through here. Elkmont is here. Ardmore is here. And again, we're kind of looking down into this messy weather down in through here. But again, no evidence of a tornado, despite what you see on the camera there. And again, we would have correlation with velocity rotation, which we do not have at this point. Just pouring rain and maybe a little small hail falling over here to the west of Athens. That's a definite possibility there. And again, all of that's moving into Madison County. Interstate 565 is located right here. And again, you don't want to be on 565 in a downpour at 4:34 in the afternoon, Drew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, traffic's kind of rough.
Yeah, it's not the preferred time of day to travel anyway, and then you factor in some heavy rain here. But anyway, and you know what happens at the Trash Pandas game soon? James Spann bobblehead night. Yeah. That's going to be big.
When is that again?
I'll be throwing out the first pitch. We're giving out James Spann bobblehead dolls. We'll have more details on that as that get closer, but that'll be at Toyota Field here in a month or two. So again, heavy rain coming into Madison County. Again, Huntsville here, and so far, so good. It's just been heavy rain. If there's any one issue we've got, it's basically flooding problems. And again, a reminder quickly, as you look at these other boxes here, the top box, that is a live view coming from Ardmore, looking down into this from the north in Limestone County, and then all these other cameras like the Cherokee camera, that's in western Colbert County where it's just pouring rain. And again, we're looping through the live views with the Region Skycam network statewide. So again, all of the traffic I'm seeing here represents no specific damage reports. I've seen zero, none. Bill, what you got?
Yeah,
is
James,
Bill mic'd up? Ryan? Okay.
James, just dovetailing on what you said, the Weather Prediction Center issuing a precipitation discussion saying what you said. You know, some local totals 4 inches are going to be possible in these back-building thunderstorms over North Alabama over the next few hours, because rainfall amounts are, you know, approaching 1.5, 2 inches per hour, and precipitable water values are really high, James. And that means there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. And as you know, we continue to get this cell coverage increasing in intensity, and over the next few hours, that's going to become a problem.
Yeah, the old PWAT, precipitable water. That's how much precipitation you can get out of an atmospheric column. And they have been running pretty high today. And these are very efficient rain producers. So again, there could be some flooding issues clearly in parts of western Lauderdale and Limestone County. So just be aware of that. And in fact, Bill, if you can change from Ardmore to Decatur, I hate to keep asking you to change things here, but we're going to flip it to Decatur. We have a Skycam here. It's about to get slammed by some heavy rain, and we'll just kind of watch and see what it looks like there in downtown Decatur on the Region Skycam network. So again, Drew, we got about 4 more minutes. Any final thoughts from you before? And again, we're still here. Listen, we're going nowhere. We typically don't go live for non-severe storms, but we thought with that watch coming out, we just talked to you for a few minutes. Drew, any final thoughts from you here?
Yeah, I mean, just like we said, so far so good. Talking about the potential rain threat. I'll just kind of play through the last hour or so of the lapse here, and you can see. As far as the areas we were talking about there north of Florence, and just kind of put it into motion here, that has received maybe close to 2 inches just in the last hour. So you can see that they had a little heavier cell there that moved through earlier, and then we've got more coming. And so really at this point, we'll kind of hope that that's the main issue we have to deal with. Not that flooding's a good thing to deal with, but if we can keep it minor enough and just get some beneficial rain, we still need some rain. Of course, it'd be nice if we could shift some of this down to the southern part of the state that needs it probably a little bit worse. But looking back off towards the west, it does look like the one cell I'd say that we probably are going to need to watch here over the next couple of hours is this one here that is over. Let me just go ahead and get us back to the Columbus radar here real quick. So yeah, that cell that's kind of in between Oxford and Pontotoc, Mississippi, That one's looking a little bit more interesting at this point. And I will say that some of the models, the HRRR, even the Barron model, had been picking up on some sort of a little, what we call an MCS, a mesoscale convective system, trying to form out of this. Now, so far, this has looked pretty innocuous and not doing that, but there still was some evidence of some, at least there being one kind of storm of the day that might have the potential to be a little bit stronger, might produce some hail. So we'll watch this one because I think so far this looks to be the one that we might have to pay a little bit more attention to as it shifts further towards the east. It looks like it's got a little bit of some organization in there to it. Yeah, you can see there's some rotation with that one. So again, just a severe thunderstorm warning on it right now, but that'll be one for sure that we'll need to continue to watch as it heads towards the state line over the next hour or so.
All right, and again, the plan is we will be back live here this evening. Bill, you got something?
James, I've got a little bit of a UGC if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, we might want to take.
We really appreciate all of our contributors. And this lightning video from earlier was from Green Hill in the northwest part of the state. Let me get it.
Lauderdale County.
Rolling here. There we go. I think it's rolling now. It's kind of small on the screen, but that is a very impressive lightning strike that happened on the lake there. And there we go.
Yep.
Well, I thought there was actually a good CG there in the middle of that, a cloud to ground lightning strike. But anyway, very impressive lightning, and we'll see that again. This was sky near Meridianville, some more CLCs, James, like you say. And this image right here from Clement Cove, our friend Andrea sending that in. This is our Skywatcher, Michael Belcher. James, we appreciate our Skywatchers. They're setting up all over to, feed us this ground truth, and that is so important. And Michael's continuing to watch the storm there. But, James, this is from Russellville, and it was out ahead of the main core. We remind you constantly about those bolts from the blue. You don't have to be in the core of the storm to get the lightning. And this was, a big tree that was just struck by lightning in Russellville in Franklin County just a few minutes ago. So, when thunder roars, go indoors and obey that old adage.
Yep, absolutely. So again, we are at 4:40, and we're going to take a break from live. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be flipping over and doing some local television responsibilities on ABC 3340, and again, we're on one of their streams as well. And we'll come back again. The plan is for us to come back. Again, in an hour or so, we'll come back as needed. And understand, if there's any tornado warning, we're here. We come right on the air. And if we have severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll probably come back on the air. But again, we'll come back within the hour. We'll put it that way. So again, remember to have our app on your TV, phone, tablet, and we should be talking to you live again within the hour. But at the moment, we'll stop this live coverage, and we thank you for trusting and watching the Alabama Weather Network. Feed 3340, just the straight, chroma key video with no boxes.
You want us to go set up in Studio B in case there's any warnings next hour?
If there's a warning, Evan's going to do them. Evan will do it.
But what about for us?
I'll do it. Evan's going to do the TV weather.
Oh, okay.
That's the standard plan of operations.
I wouldn't be surprised they don't put a tour on that.
A little concerned they're going to do something.
I think they are.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to tell Evan just to be ready.
Emergency vehicles in that shot. That's a good setup with the cameras, though. It's working out pretty well.
And once we get JP in, you can maneuver the things. And what was that?
Severe thunderstorm warning from Huntsville. For Colbert and Franklin and Lawrence. Yeah.
to try and do this, and again, if it gets too busy, we'll just let Evan handle it.
What we're going to do, James, is put links 3 on Splash Top over here for JP.
Yeah, that'd be
So he
good.
can control everything.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Have you done that one?
Have that one now?
Put Splash Top as he set up.
Yeah, it just needs his password. If we were gonna, but he's not coming tonight, right?
He's going to be here at like 6:30.
Oh, he is coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's working. He can. Let me know if you think they're going to go tour on this thing.
Okay.
We got a tornado warning for that one in Mississippi now. Yeah. And I think I'll be on links 1 behind me. It's going to have the 3340 graphics on it. Can you be sure and kill their mics? Just have mine only hot, nothing personal. Y'all might be